Hello everyone, over here is the Citroen Berlingo 2024 facelift, and I am very excited about it because I was always a big fan of Citroen cars, primarily because of their design and primarily because of how they drive. Now, I had the great pleasure driving the Peugeot Rifter, which is basically the same platform and the exact same bodywork as the Citroen Berlingo. But there are key differences, and that's only within the design. Now, I look at this facelifted Citroen Berlingo. This particular design right here reminds me of the Berlingo in the early 2000s. It had an angry looking front design. That's all I remember about it. So when I see this front design, the first thing that came to my mind was the early 2000s. And this is, I think, the philosophy of these days Stellantis cars. They're starting to make reference to past models. Oh, look at this. The quality of their doors have improved massively. It's far better because I remember in the pre-facelift version, well, I know with the Peugeot Rifter in particular, the door was extremely fluffy. It's like when you close it, you would think it's ajar or something. You would think to yourself it hasn't been closed properly. So that's why people would slam the door to make sure it's closed. Whereas with this door, there's no mistaking as to whether it's closed or not closed. Now, as part of the facelift of the Citroen Berlingo, there's not much change towards the exterior. The big change was at the front and at the side, maybe to some extent. I'm not entirely sure what is the idea of having this here, but I guess this has become a Citroen thing as of lately, where they just put random plastic parts and random designs to make it look different. But one thing I really like about the PSA Group vans, and well, now Stellantis vans, is that the side windows at the rear, they actually open. And the reason I'm emphasizing on this is because you don't really get this on other competitors, especially on the Volkswagen Caddy, from what I remember of it. One thing that amazes me about this particular Citroen Berlingo is that you don't see the Citroen badge anymore over here. Open this window, you have to push a button that's down there, but I find this a bit questionable. I think it would have been better if there was a little button right here to open it, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is this window opens and it's very easy to reach everything that's in there. Otherwise, watch what happens when I open this back door. There is acres of space. This is literally like a cargo version Citroen Berlingo. Honestly, it's amazing. The boot lip sticks out quite proudly, but it is plastic, so it is durable. Now, I don't know what is it with the windowsill over here, but for some reason the windowsill is so thick. I mean, look at this. Hang on a second, everyone. It's not all pink roses. This part of the door vibrates a lot whenever I close it. Like, look at this. There's just so much noise and so much vibration everywhere. And something very important you all need to know, and this is going to be very advantageous for Stellantis. This Citroen Berlingo is electric, which gives it a big advantage for Stellantis compared to other electric car manufacturers like Tesla, BYD, and then obviously you have the German giants like the Volkswagen Group, and then other players. So you know what I'm saying? In certain senses, Stellantis is ahead of everyone. Now, before going to the interior, I just want to remind you all, this is a proper 5-seater. And when I say 5-seater, I mean literally. There's 3 people that can seat comfortably in the second row. But let's take a look at the seat as well. I mean, look at it, some Citroen art. Now, ever since the Citroen Cactus, Citroen just likes sticking to this pattern. I honestly think it's a bit unnecessary, but then, hey, it does look cool, I guess. It looks a bit funky. Over to the interior of the Citroen Berlingo. This is where things get interesting. Well, I don't know why I just said interesting, because it looks very similar to the pre-facelift, except there's 2 key differences. First one being, the steering wheel looks very premium. Like, I look at the steering wheel and it looks as if it's just come from a car of 100,000 euros. I mean, look at it. It's so cool, squidgy, pleasant to hold on to. It is, I think, the best thing about this interior. I just love it. But then as soon as you look at the rest of the interior, it's like as if it's a budget car. I mean, look at it. It's just plastic everywhere. But then, to be fair, it is based on the cargo van, the Citroen Berlingo, and it's got loads of storage solutions everywhere. In fact, the number of storage solutions in this cargo van, well, Citroen Berlingo, is more than what you've ever seen in a Skoda, which is ironic because Skoda was actually known for its practicality solution. And I'm still surprised they haven't come up with a van yet. Volkswagen Group, why haven't you done anything about Skoda in that regard? But anyways, look at this. Storage space over here. Storage space over there. Well done, Stellantis. Well done. And then the screen over here, I don't know if it's just me, but it's a bit humble compared to before. But then I guess this is supposed to be a Citroen thing, or maybe Stellantis has a plan that maybe Citroen will have this and Peugeot will have that. Because I seem to recall in the Peugeot Rifter, the screen was bigger. Now maybe it's just me, guys. Maybe it's just me. But you get the automatic transmission right over here next to the driving mode. For the rest, everything is the same as before. It's no surprise. And you get these armrests right here, which is squidgy and comfortable. Oh, that's interesting. The driver's seat is heated, but there's no electric seating adjustment. And you even get heated steering wheel. Well, this is a bit funny. You don't get any parking sensors at the front, and you don't even get a parking camera at the front. 43,000 euros, everyone. Ironically, at the rear, you get both the parking sensor and a rear view camera. Now I want to talk to you all about the middle row seats. So first I will start with the other side. So you see, there's no armrest at all. There's just hard plastic onto the door. So I guess you have to lean your arm onto the windowsill. And right over there, there's a window button. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen a window button right onto the B pillar of a car. So this is a creative feature. I guess they moved everything. Well, I think they made the seats as wide as possible for additional comfort when seating, when seated. I guess that was the idea. And you even get trays over here, which is good. But hey, you see, yeah, they don't hold long properly, but then just be careful when having your lunch, especially when you have a drink. Oh my goodness. Now, when it comes to the middle seat is good. It's actually perfect, right? It's good for families. Just watch out that near the feet, there are the seat railings for the front seat passenger and the driver. So yeah, this is something you have to watch out for. Knee room, leg room, and headroom, there's no question. In fact, I don't need to point anything out. So here is my conclusion of the Citroen Berlingo facelift 2024 electric. I'm just going to make a confession to all of you. I was panicking when I first saw the Citroen Berlingo. I rolled my eyes thinking, yet again, this is another Stellantis experiment, or this is yet again another Stellantis vehicle which has a mishmash of various other Stellantis models where, I don't know, I'm going to see a Peugeot that has the wheels that resemble what Alfa Romeo has, and then vice versa. I see an Alfa Romeo with parts that look like they're from a Peugeot. You know what I'm saying, everyone? But then looking at the Citroen Berlingo, I think it is one of the best vans I've ever reviewed in a long time. And I don't even know why I called it a van. I think it's like a mini bus almost or something. But here's the reason why. It's electric and it is quite well equipped. In fact, the steering wheel was ironically one of the best I held on to. But this is the part which I found a bit... I prefer consistency. But then, okay, not everyone's going to pay attention to this minor detail because the steering wheel looks premium, but then you look all over the interior of the van, it was hard plastic everywhere. But again, not everyone's going to care about this minor detail. Maybe I do, others don't. The big picture is Stellantis has done something that not many other car manufacturers have yet to come up with. I think Renault has something with the Kangoo. I'm not sure. When it comes to big players, electric car manufacturers like Tesla, BYD, Hongqi, all the electric car manufacturers, the big ones who have all the names and everything, they have yet to come up with something as good as this. This is perfect for the city. This is living proof that you don't need a crossover SUV that needs to be family friendly. You can stick to something like this. Also, the quality from certain angles, like I was a bit alarmed by how much the rear door shakes and how loud it is. Like when you close it, there will always be some little noises. I don't know what it is, but then honestly, no van is perfect, no car is perfect, but at least this is an electric van for 43,000 euros. And it's spacious, family friendly. I can't think of many car manufacturers that have come up with this so far.